Lieutenant General George Flynn of the US Marine Corps famously said, the cost of leadership is self-interest. And that is something that often seems at odds with how we perceive our leaders today. My name's David McGacken, and I hope in this short video to talk about some of the things that makes great leaders in modern society. So what we often see as our leaders are those who are seeking self-aggrandizement, those are seeking after ego, those who are pushing themselves forwards into roles of responsibility for its own sake rather than for the sake of the people around them. And whilst I think that can be true, I also think there are many people that we overlook. And of course, we don't see the leaders that do it right, for want of a better word, because actually they're the ones who don't seek the limelight. And when we dig a bit, we find that there are many people that lead their people well and give credit to their people rather than taking it for themselves. Of course, the thing about a leader is that you have to be prepared to take the responsibility for the failures, and you have to also recognize that credit needs to go where it's due. And we too often perceive it the other way around. And I think some leaders also too often perceive it the other way around. C.S. Lewis famously wrote in one of his books, The Magician's Nephew, towards the end, the newly created land of Narnia is appointing its first king and queen. And he writes in that story that the king, the leader, needs to be the first in every desperate attack and the last in every desperate retreat. The leader needs to always be out in the front, protecting the rest of their people from the dangers of the battle that is going on. And this is something that I think, again, we see leaders often directing forces from the back, protecting themselves when they should be protecting the people around them. They should be protecting their people. We see in business, when something is going wrong, often it is the leaders who will make the decision to cut costs, to cut jobs, to make people redundant, rather than taking the decision to, for example, reduce their own salary. And we become quite angry about that, and rightly so, because that's not what we expect of leaders. There are many leaders who actually do feel the pain with the people in their organisations, and they do take salary cuts in order to protect the people. And in those situations, they are often unsung. What we see in the headlines are what are notionally called the fat cats of business, who will quite happily cull thousands of jobs for the sake of their own protection and their own salary. Now, no situation is that straightforward, and I'm sure that actually the complexities behind it are more difficult. But nevertheless, it's our perception, and that perception can easily gain ground. So, what is it then to be a good leader, a true leader? Is about creating the safety for the people that are working within our organisations, that are doing the jobs that we used to do. And it's important that we create that safety and we make those people feel safe within the environments that we try and create as leaders. If we do that, we will get the best from them. If we don't do that, then we will struggle to really promote the good things that we want our people to do.